How's it going, everyone? So I just want to preface this with been driving the truck 4 days since the dyno. It's running very well. um, I'm still not 100% sure I'm with the numbers and all that, that I'm good with it, but I've looked around, found some similar combinations. A few of them had BTR Truck Norris, which is very similar camshaft. One guy made almost identical power numbers. Another one made less, so, and pretty similar modifications, vehicle, all that. So I guess I'm just in the ballpark. However, I did step on it pretty good twice today since I took the rear ends out of the back of it, and I don't know if it's spinning more in first gear from, like I say, a 20-25 mile an hour roll. Excuse me, allergies. But on the 1-2 shift, before I just mark the tires and kind of walk around a little bit and then go. And now, when on the 1-2 shift, it knocks the tires right off it, and you get to kind of pedal in and out of it a few times to keep it going, or completely lift depending on how loose it gets. So I don't know if that's a fair comparison, you know, the butt dyno, as they say, but that's kind of where I'm at. You'll see in the video, it's smoked pretty good when we let off from a wide open throttle run. I don't know what that was all about, but pretty much I think we did about half dozen runs total. By the end, it had gone away, was pretty much nothing. So I don't know if there was it was the rings trying to reseat. I literally hadn't driven it very much prior to the trip to the dyno. Back and forth to work, real short jaunts, and then on the freeway about 30 miles to Daytona to have it tuned. So maybe not. It's not using any oil. I checked the catch can. You'll see in the graph later on in this, there's a kind of a little jump about 5250 where they cross over. That's the converter locking. When we tried to command it locked right from the get-go, it was down almost 50 horsepower, and then at the very end of the graph it would ramp up and make the power that it should. So we ended up just locking the converter, you know, wide open throttle, part of the way through third gear. So I don't know what's going on there. He seems to think possibly something's going on with the converter. It could be going out. I have a couple of converters I could have put in it, but I didn't want to change too much at once. I wanted it to be a real A to B comparison. So we'll see if I can have my drag radials mounted and make a pass, see if it'll make a clean pass. Hopefully it does. And then maybe down the road I may change the converter in it, just because it needs it, quite frankly. So and we'll upgrade at that time, because like I said, I've got a couple. I think I've got a 28 to 3000, and I got a 3600. Obviously it doesn't need a 3600 converter, so I'll put the smaller of the two in it, and we should be good. But at any rate, just wanted to kind of cover those things and go over that. But we'll leave it at that and go ahead and watch the video and see the dyno runs and the results. So we just arrived at Redline Tuning Services, my friend's shop. Done all my tuning, helped me with engine builds, spec'd a few camshafts over the years for me. But he's my go-to guy for anything HP tunes on these. I do not have the patience so far, or the time. I haven't made the time to learn it, and this guy's been doing it at least 20 years, so there's nobody better to go to, in my opinion.
so we just got off the dyno. I'll get into things a little later. It made okay power. It's nothing earth-shattering. I wasn't expecting big numbers. We're just going on a little quick drive here. Feels all right. It's not going to rotate the earth. Main thing is this needs to be reliable, just to get me from point A to point B. I've got that other engine I need to put cam bearings in and do a few other odds and ends, and that'll be the good motor with the ported heads, fast intake, etc. So, but this was kind of an unexpected thing, and I threw it together to you know, so I could get to work and pay the bills. So, great oil pressure still. Doesn't want to stall coming into a quick stop, so that's good. It was sketchy before. Idle's a lot more stable. Let's see what it does here. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. I think the other engine might have been a little faster than this one, but it is what it is. So that's pretty much a wrap. Leave an old red line here shortly. God, this thing needs a bath. It runs a lot better, drivability wise. I'm slightly a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, maybe a little, fell short of my expectations. How about we'll say that. I was hoping to make a little bit more power. He said we could maybe chase another 3 to 5 horsepower, but why beat on it? It's just a daily driver. It's a temporary engine to get me by until I get that other one together. So it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm going to show you all the graph right now. And there it is. 336 horsepower and 342, almost 343 torque. This little weird blip right here, we're having issues with the converter, and this it commanded to lock, and the thing would be down on power, not just a little bit, like almost 50, and then it would do a little funny whip at the end and make the power. So we just commanded it to lock in 3rd gear, let it do its thing, and that's pretty much the converter locking there at the end. But it did repeatable numbers. This is the best pull, and like I said, it kind of is what it is at the end of the day. From some of the other people I've seen with 6 liters online, I'm pretty similar. There was a guy who was like 335, 337, so I'm pretty much in line with him. Hopefully that EPS cam in my other engine isn't hurt, because it made 9 less horsepower, I think, on 87, and it made about 60, or no, 25, almost 30 foot-pounds more torque at the same setup. So that was with 317 heads instead of these 862s and less compression. So I don't know, but good or bad, there you have it. I always report it. I don't try and sugarcoat anything or hide stuff. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Now the next order of business is just, you know, take care of a few other nitpick things, and get my drag radials mounted, and when the weather cools off here, maybe next month, take it to the track and see what it does. It'll either be really good or mediocre. So anyhow, thanks for hanging in with me and watching, and we'll see you soon. So I'm driving back home, and I had either a light bulb go off or an epiphany. Truck felt a little slow. Yeah, I wonder what those weigh. I haven't had a chance to take them out. I loaded them in. The engine left the chat the next night. Then I spent the next week and a half chasing everything down, putting this engine together, getting it in the truck, the other one out, etc. And then we had that storm, and I had to kind of scramble around the house and at work to get things prepped. And I haven't had a chance to take them out. So I'm gonna, in a few minutes, get these out, and I got a feeling it's gonna feel a little better. It's still not making the numbers that the other engine made per se, but I don't think it's as bad as I was thinking it was once I take, I don't know, 400 or so pounds out of it. So all right, I'll report back later on that. I think I'm going to be pleasantly surprised.